A warm welcome to all my students of Standard 7. Today, we are going to begin with Chapter 9, Direct Proportion and Inverse Proportion. Now, let us understand the meaning of direct proportion by the following example. If cost of a pen is rupees 12, the cost of 2 pens will be equivalent to 2 into 12, and that will be equivalent to 24. If the cost of 3 pens will be 3 into 12 will be 36. Cost of similar 5 pens will be 5 into 12, and that would be 60. The cost of 8 pens would be 8 into 12, and that would be 96. So what have you seen here? As the number of pen increases, the cost of that pen is also increasing. So number of pen we are going to multiply with the actual cost. So when one value increases and the other value also increases, then those kind of transaction is called as direct proportion. Number of pens and cost of pens. Just now we had a look of number of pens. If there is one pen, the cost of the pen is 12. If same such pen is 2 pens, the cost would be 24. Similar pen, if it's 3, the cost would be 36. Similar pen, if the quantity is 5, the cost will be 60. And if it increases by 8, the cost also increases by 96. So means, what have you understood? For one pen, the cost from one pen to two pen it becomes doubled. Then if thrice it becomes thrice. And for 5 pen become 5 times. When it was 8 times, 8 such pen becomes 8 times more. So that means cost of pen is increasing as the number of pen increases. So if both the quantity are increasing, then they are said to be direct proportion. If number of pens and cost, if the cost of pen is decreasing, the number of pen is also decreasing. So means they are directly related to each other. If one quantity increases, other also increases, then they are directly related. Similarly, if one quantity decreases, the other also decreases simultaneously, then they both are directly proportionate to each other. Cost of pens, for example, the ratio of number of pen upon cost of pen is 2 upon 24 will be equivalent to 1 upon 12, and again it will be equivalent to 8 upon 96. Means any ratio you consider, that is the number of pen to the cost, after simplification is going to form to the reduced form, and that is 1 upon 12. Whether it is 2 upon 24, 2 ones are, 2 twelves are, becomes 1 upon 12. Similarly, whether it is 8 upon 96, 8 ones are, 8 twelves are, it becomes 1 upon 12. So all these values, when considered in the form of ratio, gives us a constant value 1 upon 12. So always remember, my dear students, D stands for direct proportion, D stands for division. So division of two quantity gives us same ratio, then they are directly proportionate. So these values should be 1 upon 12. So any of the ratio you deduce, that is number of pen upon cost of pen, will always be the same, that is 1 upon 12. Okay, so when division of two quantities is constant, it's called as directly proportionate. Now let us have a look at one more example by unitary method. Let's consider if suppose a car uses 4 liters of petrol to cover a distance of 60 kilometers. Distance covered with 8 liters of petrol is 120 kilometers, and distance covered with 12 liters of petrol is 180 kilometers. Then how do we get the constant? Okay, so because if the petrol number of petrol, if it's consumed more, distance covered would be more, no? So now that means they are directly proportionate. So their ratio has to be constant. So let's have a look at their ratio. So petrol used, that is number of liter consumed of petrol, is divided by distance covered. So more the petrol consumed means more the distance would be covered. So 4 upon 60, 8 upon 120, 12 upon 180. So 4 upon 60 by unitary method. So what do we get? Because we are getting this as constant, which means they are directly proportionate to each other. That is, liters of petrol consumed will be directly proportionate to distance covered. More the liters of petrol consumed, more would be distance covered. So they have direct relation. So if in direct relation, if one quantity increases, the other also increases. If one quantity decreases, the other also decreases. And the ratio of those two quantities has to be always constant. So please remember this, boys. D for direct, D for division. So division of those two quantity is always supposed to be constants. Only then they are directly proportionate to each other. So here the equation would be x upon y. These are the two quantities which are directly proportionate to each other. So therefore, the constant k here we are going to presume as small alphabet k. X and y are in direct proportion. So if x upon y is always k, that is constant, we say x and y are in direct proportion. We can also take the y value on the RHS. So y is here in division relation. If it shifts on to RHS, it becomes multiplication with y with the constant k. So y will become in multiplicative relation with the constant k. So therefore the equation becomes x is equal to k into y. Now boys, let us consider one more situation. Number of chapatis and number of people. Now imagine there is guest at your home. So if suppose initially only your family members, you were four of y'all, but now after when guest steps into your house, what is going to happen? Number of chapati to be prepared will always be more, right? So more the people, more would be the number of chapatis made. So suppose number of chapatis are 20 and number of people are 4. So each person is going to get 5 chapatis. Let us take a situation if the family member is doubled. In place of 4, it becomes 8. So then how many numbers of chapati are we supposed to prepare? So let us consider number of chapatis to be small alphabet C and number of people be small alphabet P. And chapatis to be prepared, there is number of chapatis to be prepared, BCS, if the percentage, if the number of people are 8. So here If number of chapati increases, number of people to consume that should also be more. So again, they are directly related to each other. One quantity increases, the other also increases. So in that case, they are directly proportionate. So D for direct, D for division. So division of these two values will always going to be the same, that is constant K. So Cs upon Ps is equal to C4 upon P4. And that gives us Cs is equal to 20 upon 4, and your Cs upon 8 is equal to 20 upon 4. So therefore we need to find the value of Cs. Cs will remain there itself, number of chapatis. 8 has a division relation in LHS. If it shifts on to RHS, will become multiplicative relation. So Cs is equal to 20 into 8 divided by 4. And now let's simplify this. 8 and 4 comes in the same table, that is 4 table. So 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8. What is left out? 20 and 2. So 20 into 2 is 40. So therefore number of chapatis to be made will be 40, because now the people have doubled. So from 4 family members it has become 8 members. So then double the quantity she has to prepare. So the lady has to prepare 40 chapatis. I hope you have followed the situation, boys. Now let us begin with the very first practice set, that is practice set 37 of this chapter. So practice set number 37. Now let us begin with the very first sum of the practice set. Practice set 37, question number 1. If 7 kg onions cost 140 rupees, how much must we pay for 12 kg onions? So here they have given us the cost of 7 kg, and we need to find the cost for 12 kgs. Okay. So when the number of kg increases, the cost also increases of the onions. So now these two values are directly proportionate to each other. So let's begin with the solution. Let us suppose the cost of 12 kg onions is rupees X. The number of onions and their cost vary in direct proportion. So here the value which we have to find, we have presumed to be X, and we know they both are directly proportionate. So therefore we'll get the equation as 7 upon 140. 7 kg onions is for rupees 140, because they are directly proportionate, it will be division. Similarly 12 kg, so here we have taken kg in the numerator and the cost in the denominator for one quantity on LHS. Same we have to do with the RHS. So 12 kg onions will be how many rupees, and that we have presumed to be X. So they both are directly proportionate, means the division of these two quantities should be equal. So now let's cross multiply to find the value of X. X is equal to, X will shift on to the LHS, 7 upon 140 will shift on to the RHS. So when this shifts on to the RHS, what is going to happen? It will reciprocate. So X shifts on to LHS and becomes, from division it becomes multiplication. 7 upon 140, it's in LHS. If it comes in RHS, it gets reciprocated, and it becomes 140 upon 7. So numerator goes to denominator, denominator goes to numerator. So that is what is called as reciprocal. So now let's simplify. 7 and 140 comes in the same table. So 7 ones are 7. 7 20s is 140. And 12 into 20 will be 240. So therefore value of X is 240 rupees. So now we got the value of X as 240 rupees. So therefore final answer will be in the form of statement, that is, hence the cost of 12 kg onions is 240 rupees. Now let us move on to the next question. Question number 2. If 600 rupees buy 15 bunches of feed, how many will 1280 rupees buy? So if the rupees increases, we can buy more and more of feeds. Okay, so now they are directly related, so they are directly proportionate. Let us begin with the solution. We have to presume the value which we have to find, right? So write down, let us suppose x bunches of feed can be brought in 1280 rupees. So then the number of bunches of feed and their cost vary in direct proportion. So here we have 15 upon 600. Now 15 is what? It is bunches. So 15 bunches is what for rupees 600. Okay. So now, so therefore, how many bunches can be brought for rupees 1280? So that means we have to divide. So we have taken bunches in the numerator and the respective cost in the denominator. Because they are directly proportionate, the division of these quantities should be constant. So therefore, how do we simplify this? To find the value of x will remain there itself. The value which is in the denominator will shift onto the other side, that is 1280, and after shifting there, from here it was division, there it will become multiplication, and we will get it as 15 into 1280 divided by 600. So how do we simplify this? 0 0 gets cancelled, 15 ones are 15 fours are is 60. So we have 128 upon 4. Yes. So 128 upon 4 can be further simplified. How? 128 is divisible by 4, isn't it? It comes in 4 table. So it will be 4 ones are, this will be 4 threes are 12, 4 twos are 8. So that means 32 bunches of feed we can buy in rupees 1280. So answer is 32. The statement would be hence 32 bunches of feed can be brought in rupees 1280. Students, now let us move on to the next question, question number 3. For 9 cows, 13 kg and 500 grams of food supplement are required every day. In the same proportion, how much will be needed for 12 cows? So for 9 cows, this is a quantity. So we need to find for 12 cows. So 9 cows eats this many supplement of food. There is a quantity is 13 kg, 500 gram. So obviously from 9 cow it increases to 12 cows. Then accordingly the food supplement will also increase. Let us begin with the solution. The value which we have to find, we have to presume it. So let us presume x kg of food supplement required for 12 cows. So now the quantity of food supplement and the number of cows vary in direct proportion. They are directly related. So here we have 9 cows needs 13.5 kg of food supplement. So number of cows we have taken in numerator and amount, that is kg and gram of supplement of food we have taken in the denominator. So accordingly in RHS also 12 cows will go out and amount of food supplement which we have presumed to be x will come in the denominator. Now we'll have to cross multiply. So x will move on to the LHS and becomes numerator. Okay, this will move on to LHS and becomes numerator, wherein 9 upon 13.5 will move on to the other side and gets reciprocated. So once they get reciprocated, You will get it as x is equal to 12 into 13.5 divided by 9. So now 13.5 and 9, 12 and 9 is divisible. It comes in 3 table. So 3 3s are 9, 3 4s are 12. Now here we have 3 and 4, 3 and 13.5. Now 135 is divisible by 3. 3 ones are 3, 3 fours are 12. 1 is moved further because there is decimal, you also have to take decimal here. So 4, so 13 fours is 12. 13 minus 12 is 1. So 1 is carried forward and becomes 15. 1 and 5 becomes 15. And 1 and 5, 15 is 13 fives are. So then the amount of food supplement required would be, what is left out here? It is numerator we have 4 into 4.5 and in denominator we have 1. So therefore 4 into 4.5 would be how much? 4 5s is 20. So 2 carried forward, 0 will come down. Then we have 4 4s are 16. 16 plus 2 is 18. So now we'll have to check for the decimal. Here we have decimal after 1 digit. Similarly, here also we will have decimal after 1 digit. And that would become 18. That will become 18 kg. So now we got the answer, that is 18 kg. Therefore, the final statement would be hence 18 kg of food supplement required for 12 cows. Now let us move further. Let us move on to question number 4. Cost of 12 quintals of soya bean is 36,000 rupees. How much will 8 quintals cost? So here we have taken soya bean in terms of unit quintals. Let's begin with the solution. If the quantities of soya bean in quintals increases, it will increase. Okay, the cost will increase. If the quintal decreases, the cost will decrease. So they are directly related. So let us presume, let us suppose the cost of 8 quintals of soya bean be X rupees. The quantity of soya bean and their cost vary in direct proportion. So they both vary, they have direct relationships, okay? They are directly proportionate. So now, what has been given? They have given 12 quintals cost 3,600. So number of quintals we have taken in the numerator and cost of same we have taken in the denominator. Because they are directly proportionate, the division of them should be constant. That's why both the division we have equated. Similarly, quintals of the second quantity will go on the numerator, that is 8, and the cost will come down, which is x. Now, as we have to find the value of x, x will come in LHS and 12 upon 3600 gets reciprocated onto the other side. Therefore, x is equal to 8 into 12 upon 3600 gets reciprocated as 8 into 3600 divided by 12. Now let's simplify this. Now 12 and 36 is divisible by 12. So 12 ones are 12 and 12 hundreds are will be 36. No, 12 1300s are, because it is 3s are, right? So 12 3s are has to be 12 300s are, 12 ones are 12, 12 twos are 24, 12 threes are 36. So 12 into 300s is 3600. So now what is left out? We have only 8 and 300 left out. And that is nothing but 3 8 is 24, which will be 24. Now here we had two zeros, dear boys. Okay. Now here it is three zeros. Okay. So accordingly, it is 36,000. So accordingly, in 300, the zero will increase as 3,000, and 3 into 24 is 24,000. So therefore, the cost of 8 quintal is rupees 24,000, and the final statement would be that hence cost of 8 quintal of soybean is 24,000 rupees. Now let us move on to the last question of this practice set. Question number 5. Two mobile cost 16,000 rupees. How much money will be required to buy 13 such mobiles? Okay. So two mobile is rupees 16,000. So we are increasing the number of mobile. So from 2 we are increasing it to 13 mobiles. So according the cost will also increase. So let's begin with the solution. Let us suppose the cost of 13 mobile to be rupees X. So they both are directly proportionate, the number of mobile and their cost varies in direct proportion. So therefore, the division of these two values has to be constant. That is number of mobile upon the cost. Okay. So in the first situation, it is 2 mobile for 16,000. So it will be 2 upon 16,000 in LHS. Then we need to find cost of 13 mobile. So number of mobile in numerator, that is 13, divided by cost of that 13 mobile, which we have presumed to be X, is taken down in the denominator. So now to find the value of X we have to shift on to LHS. So accordingly 2 upon 16,000 will shift on to RHS. And then we'll get the value as X is equal to 13 into 16,000 upon 2. We can simplify 2 and 16. So 2 ones are 2 eights are 16. So 2 8,000s are, okay. So it will be 2 8,000s is 16,000. So now in denominator we have only 1. In numerator we have 13 into 8,000, and 13 into 8,000 would be 104,000 rupees. So therefore the final answer would be the cost of 13 mobile is 1,04,000. Okay, it will be 1,04,000. Let us consider one more example. Now here we have two rows. Two rows, each row has 6 marbles. So 6 columns. So when there were 2 rows of marble, there are 6 columns. So 6 marbles are there in each row. So 6 twos is 12. If suppose instead of 2 rows, the number of row increases by 3. So then each row will have 4 marbles. So 4 columns. So when we have 3 rows, there are 4 columns. But here the number of marble is the same. So 3 4s is 12. It is the same. So we are just rearranging them to cross check. If suppose number of columns, rows of marble increases by 4, then there will be 3 marbles in each row. So there will be 3 columns. So again 4 3s is 12. So now let us analyze number of rows and number of columns formed by 12 marbles in a tabular manner. In the first situation, we had considered 2 rows of marbles. So each row had 6 marbles and 2 3s is 12. So totally 12 marbles were there in the first arrangement. In the second arrangement, when the number of rows were increased by 3, in each column we had 4 marbles and total marbles were 12. So 3 4s is 12. Similarly, when one more additional row was increased, then 3 marbles were in each of this row and overall the total number of marbles were 12. So whatever the arrangements were, it was done by same number of marbles. So in this situation, as in the number of rows increased from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, simultaneously number of columns decreased, that is from 6 to 4 and 4 to 3. So this kind of situation where one quantity increases, the other quantity is decreasing. Such situation is called as inverse proportion. So this kind of proportion would be termed as inverse proportion. Now what are you going to remember for inverse proportion? In inverse proportion, the product, that is multiplicative value of both the quantities, will always be constant. So what has happened to the number of rows? So number of rows when increased from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, number of column decreased from 6 to 4, 4 to 3. Number of rows and number of columns, though the values were different, but the product was always the same, that is 12. Increase in one quantity resulting in a decrease in the other quantity is said to be inverse proportion. So two quantities x and y are said to be inverse proportion. If x into y is constant, that is xy is equal to k, means the product of both these quantities should be constant. Now let us consider an example wherein number of workers on a job and time taken to complete the job. Here there's one person doing the construction job alone, and here are many people doing the same job in a group. If we compare, if number of workers is being increased, what is going to happen? Time taken to complete the work will decrease. So that means number of workers on a job and time taken to complete the job are in inverse proportion, because when one value is increasing, the other value is decreasing. If 15 workers can build a wall in 48 hours, how many workers are required to do the same work in 30 hours? Let us begin with the solution. Number of hours required by 15 workers is 48. So that means in 30 hours, if the same work has to be completed, then they will require more workers, isn't it? To same work to complete in less time, people should be more to work. So that means Number of workers should be more than 15. So when number of worker is increasing, hour is going to decrease. So that means number of workers and time taken are in inversely proportional. So for 30 hours, how many workers are required? Let us presume if y number of workers are needed to complete the same work in 30 hours. So therefore, the product of both the quantities should be constant of the first situation and the second situation. So 48 into 15 is equal to 30 into y. So y is equal to 48 into. So y remains there itself. 48 into 15 also remains there itself. 30, which is on the side of y, will shift on to the other side. 30 here has multiplication. If it goes on to the other side, becomes division. Now let us simplify. 15 and 30 comes in the same table. So 15 ones are 15, 15 twos are 30. Then again 48 and 2 comes in same table. So 2 ones are 2, 2, 24s as 48. So therefore now in numerator we have 24 into 1. So it will be 24 workers are required to build the wall in 30 hours. So in 48 hours, we required 15 workers. So lesser time. So to complete the same work in lesser time, we have to employ more number of workers than 15. So the more number of workers here, there should be 24. So exactly 24 workers are needed to build the wall, same wall in 30 hours. Now let us begin with practice set 38. Now let us begin with the very first question. 5 workers takes 12 days to feed a field. How many days would 6 workers take? How many would 15 take? So here we have to find values for two situations. Okay. Now the first, which is already given, what is it? 5 workers takes 12 days to weed a field. Okay. So by 5 worker it takes 12 days, means we have to find how many days will be taken by 6 workers and then 15 workers. So as the workers number is increasing from 5 to 6, then 16 to 15. So let's begin with the solution. Let us suppose 6 workers will take X days to weed a field, as they are inversely proportionate. Why? Because as the number of workers increases, the number of days decreases. So the number of workers and number of days are in inverse proportion. So if they are in inverse proportion, product of both will be equivalent. Product of both the quantities, that is workers and the days, by the first situation and also by the second situation, will be constant. So first situation we have 5 workers and 12 days. So it will be 5 into 12 will be equivalent to 6 workers and X number of days. So that will be 6X. So as we have to find the value of X, X will remain there itself. 6, which has multiplication relation in RHS, will shift on to the other side and becomes division. So therefore now X is equal to 5 12s are 60. So it will be 60 upon 6, and that is 10. So exactly 10 days is needed for 6 workers. Now let us find the number of days required by 15 workers, the second situation. So let's presume the number of days as Y days. So let us suppose 15 workers will take Y days to weed a field. So 5 into 12 will be equivalent to 15y. So therefore y will be what? 15 12s are 60. 15 has multiplication relation with y. If it goes on to LHS will become division. So 60 divided by 15 would be 4. So it will exactly take 4 days for 15 workers to do the same work, that is to weed a field. So therefore, answer final statement, 6 workers will take 10 days while 15 workers will take 4 days to weed a field. Question number 2. Mohan Rao took 10 days to finish a book reading 40 pages every day. How many pages must he read in a day to finish it in 8 days? So herein, let's begin the solution. Let's analyze the situation. Now Mohan Rao is taking to read a complete book 10 days. Okay. So that means for completing that book every day he reads 40 pages. So after 10 days he is reading 400 pages. Right. So now let's presume, suppose Mohan Rao will read X pages every day to finish the book in 8 days. As the number of days decreases, the number of pages increases. So lesser the days, more pages will be read. So the number of days and number of pages are in inverse relation, that is inverse proportion. So 10 days it's needed to read 40 pages. So 8 days, how many pages will he read? So that gives us 10 into 40 is equal to 8x. So therefore x will be what? 10 into 40 is 400. 8 is in multiplication relation with x on RHS. So if it goes on to the other side, it becomes division. So 408, it comes in the same table, that is 8. 8 ones are 8 50s are, it is 8 5s are is 40, 8 zeros are is 0. So therefore x is equal to 50 pages. Hence, Mohan Rao will have to read 50 pages every day to finish the book in 8 days. I hope you have followed, dear boys. Now let us move on to question number 3. Mary cycles at 6 km per hour. How long will she take to reach her aunt's house, which is 12 km away? If she cycles at a speed of 4 km per hour, how long would she take? So here is a situation. Let's begin the solution. Here we have two situations. Okay. Initially, Mary's speed is 6 km per hour. So Mary cycles 6 km per hour. That is a speed. Okay. And later on, she is decreasing her speed, that is 4 km per hour. But she has to travel exactly 12 km away to reach aunt's house. So let's begin the solution. What has been given? Let's take the first situation. They have given a speed which is 6 km per hour and distance traveled is 12 km per hour. So for this, I want you all to remember a word, dust. That is, so that you are going to remember word dust, duster. We use most often, we teachers make use of duster, no, to erase the blackboard. So remember a word, dust. So in this dust, you are going to replace letter U by is equal to sign. Okay, you're supposed to replace letter U by is equal to sign. And DST remains as it is. But here D stands for distance, S stands for speed, and T stands for time. So because we have to find time, speed and distance is already been given. That is 12 kilometer is speed, 12 kilometers distance in both the situation. And speed, first situation speed is given 6 km per hour. In second situation speed is given 4 km per hour. So we need to calculate time in both the situations. So how do we calculate time? By modifying this formula. So as we have to find the value of t, t remains in RHS, s when RHS shifts onto the LHS, and the formula gets modified as time taken is equal to distance upon speed. Understood how we got this formula? Please write down whatever I have jotted down. You have to write down with on the same page in the left hand side in the margin. Okay, wherever you get the space with the pencil. So when do you do your self study, you'll understand in a better manner. So time, how we got this time? Time is equal to distance upon speed. For this, you're going to remember a word, dust. Okay, only the u changes to is equal to sign, rest all remains the same. So time taken will be distance traveled is 12 kilometer per hour and speed is 6, distance traveled is 12 kilometer and speed is 6 kilometer per hour. So distance is 12 divided by speed is 6. So 6 and 12 comes in same table. 6 ones are 6, 6 twos are 12. So time taken is 2 hours. How did we get hours? Distance has kilometer, speed has kilometer per hour. So distance gets cancelled. Speed is in the denominator of the denominator which shifts onto the numerator. That's how we get the unit as hours. Let us consider the second situation wherein speed is decreased now from 6 kilometer to 4 kilometer per hour. Distance is the same, that is 12 kilometer. So therefore time formula is distance upon speed, that is 12 kilometer upon 4. So 4 and 3 comes in same table, that is 4 table. 4 ones are 4, 4 threes are 12. So time taken would be 3 hours. So in the second situation, it exactly takes 3 hours to reach her aunt's house, which is 12 kilometer away. So let's try the final answer, that is in the form of statement. If speed of a cycle is 6 kilometer per hour, then Mary will take 2 hours, and if the speed of the cycle is 4 kilometer per hour, then she will take 3 hours to reach her aunt's house. I hope you have understood, dear boys. Thank you, boys.